Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another Give and Go podcast. Uh, Rainy day, I guess better than the snow from last weekend. Today we have a special guest, last week's Broad Street Player of the Week, Julia Corsentino. Julia, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on this.
No, we appreciate, you're the first player joining us. We had a couple coaches on, and, we like mixing it up. And, you had an unbelievable couple weeks. Rumson turned it around. I guess we could start with that, then we go to the background, right, Doug? You think that would be good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Start with
Yeah.
this season. Um, Dave, Coach Callahan, very tough schedule. The first question I want to ask: do you think scheduling such tough games that even outside the division better prepare your team come postseason?
Yeah, I mean, like when we first saw our schedule, um, my team didn't even we weren't like, oh, this is so tough. Like we just like to pick up any competition we can because, in my opinion, I would rather play hard and leave it all on the court than just have a blowout game. So I'm thinking that helped us in the long run. Thinking that we took that and used it as our motivation to win every game we could, and then it really paid off in these games that really count. So with the hard scheduling, I think it was for a benefit. So I was really happy about that.
Was there any panic to you started off? I don't have the record in front of me, but
Yeah, we were 2-7.
yeah. Was there any panic? I mean, even though everybody that looks at the schedule knows it was a brutal schedule, but was there any panic in the locker room?
I mean, definitely after when we lost to Randy and Trinity, I think that was one of the toughest roadblock or ever for us. As captains, we came together after and we were just distraught. The locker room was silent and we could have given up right there, but the captains, we decided to just come together and be like, we need a plan. And we were like, we can't just keep being negative. So we showed the younger girls, we came to practice the next day with a strict schedule and we just flipped it around right then. And since then, we really just improved our attitudes, the way we played and our chemistry even. So it was great.
What was Coach Callahan's message to you guys when you started 2-7?
I mean, Coach Callahan was obviously he was very upset, but not with us and not being down on us. He was more he knows what we were capable of and he knows he needed to just push us in that direction to even further us. So I feel basically in practice and games, he kind of just was kept telling us we just need to leave it all on the court. We have nothing to lose. Who cares about our record? And we're going to show them. And we did. So he was really great about it.
Yeah, that was some. Like you said, 2-7, and now you're above 500 after yesterday's victory. To go back, first, how old were you when you first started playing basketball?
I've been playing ever since I can remember, ever since maybe when I was 3 or 2 or even yeah, around then. I was always playing.
Did you play any other sports?
Yeah, I used to be a 4-sport athlete until 8th grade, and then I cut it down to soccer and basketball. And then finally, freshman year, I was it's too much with training and stuff, so I just stopped soccer in freshman year. So now I'm just into basketball, but I did golf, I did tennis, I did lacrosse, I did it all. So it was really fun.
Yeah, it's our type of athlete,
Yeah.
Yeah.
every sport. You were on the soccer team, right, as a freshman?
Yes, I was on JV. I wasn't on varsity, but I was on the JV RFH team for soccer.
No, did you ever do softball?
I did it when I was really young, but I never really loved it because I just
Too,
felt it
too.
was too much standing around for me.
Soccer players and
That's
basketball players
that's
always
it.
give that
Yep.
answer.
Yeah,
Always give that answer when it comes
That
to
was
softball.
because
that
I
was
was
Morgan's
also
thing.
midfield in soccer, just didn't stop running. So
That is the popular
Yep.
popular answer.
yeah.
Doug, you could just jump in if you any questions.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, go ahead.
Um, so who do you remember who your first like AAU or club coach was?
Yes, I don't know if it's still named. Oh, do you know Team Miller was my first ever
Okay.
AAU
Okay.
team?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No team.
And I actually went to a game and we didn't even have uniform. And they gave us this uniform that was like a size large and it went down to my feet. And I was a fourth grader playing with like sixth graders. And that was basically my first experience playing AAU.
Who was the coach? Was it
Her name was Crystal. That's all I remember. I
okay.
was so young. Like I was like really little.
Um
So, so you played a lot of sports. What was it about basketball that made you decide to just stick with basketball?
Honestly, like when I would go to soccer practices or like other practices, I was never like I was always excited to play, but it was never like I really loved going. Like basketball practice was the only thing that I was like, oh, I really love it. Like in the scrimmages even like and I'm really competitive as it is, but like I never want to lose like a 3-on-3 or like anything. I just think it's such a fun sport because it's continuous and I just find it so much fun to just like be scoring and working with your team the whole time, which I think
I
is so fun.
Good answer. I love basketball because it exposes you because there's nowhere to hide on the basketball court. There's
Yeah.
11 girls on a soccer field and 9 girls on a softball field, but there's only 5 on a basketball court. And if you don't work hard, you're going to get exposed. And that's what I love about basketball. So yeah, your answer was good. I like that.
Thank you.
um you're currently Team Rio switching over, they're switching to the Gems name. Coach Coyle and Lenny are your coaches?
Yeah, I think it's Shannon's my coach this year, Coach
Okay.
Coyle.
How, so you've been with Rio for a couple AAU seasons right now?
Yeah, I switched from the Bells to Rio my sophomore year. So
Okay.
I was my second season with them this year.
Okay. So you switched right in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, so I was that was like really hard for me to switch over at that time, but it ended up working out for me, so that was pretty good. And yeah.
How has Coach Coyle, and Lenny, and the Team Rio group, help you improve your game?
I definitely feel like when I joined Rio, um, like Coach Lenny really gave me a chance to like she kind of was like, you have to be our point guard this year. And like I kind of like I've played point guard before, but never really like exactly point guard. And it was great to like expand what I could do because I'm already a shooting guard, but like learning how to play point guard really expanded my game. And in the Under Armour like tournaments, it's always pressing up in your face. So it really helps me like know how to control the ball.
What would you say is your greatest strength as a basketball player? And what would you say, I don't want to say weakness because I've seen you play, you don't have too many weaknesses, but what's one thing that you think you can improve on um, going into your senior year and then going to play in college?
I definitely feel like one of my strengths is like if we need a basket, I'll either get fouled, take it to the hoop, or get a three. And I've worked on my shots so much, so I feel like um I can get it off quick in some situations. But I definitely have some weaknesses where I feel like my help defense could be better and like on ball. And I can definitely improve in that, even though I've improved in it this year already. But I feel like just like staying with my defender like full court, like if they were dribbling up, I have to like stay with them the whole time and like forcing people to their left hands and stuff. Just like more awareness on defense.
In 2 years doing this, I don't think anybody's ever said help defense.
No, it's a good answer. I like
They
it.
always say on the ball defense. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Nobody ever says the help defense. They always say,
It really is. It's a lost art though. You don't see
yeah,
many girls that are very good on weak side defense.
yeah,
And it's when somebody is good at it, you notice it. So that's a good thing to work on because it's a thing that coaches notice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we notice it. Certain players that excel at that. Definitely, and it's definitely a plus. I want to talk about a couple players that you've played with at Rumson, and that helps you along the way. You were a freshman when Paige was on the team, right? Were you
Yeah,
a
Paige
freshman when?
Slavin was a senior when I was a freshman coming in.
How did she? help you, because Paige, good leader, a very good point guard. How did, your incoming freshman, I know it could be a little intimidating, coming in as a freshman, and, you start, I don't know, how you started a lot of varsity. I don't know if you might have started every game as a freshman. I'm not sure. I don't have that in front of me, but I know you did start a lot as a freshman. So right there's additional pressure because, Rumson's always up there, top five in the Shore. How did, Paige help you at if she, helped you at all, feel comfortable as, her being one of the team leaders?
So Paige actually, that was her first year coming
Yes.
from Donovan. So she was new as with us freshmen. We all came together new, and she kind of just made us feel like we were already friends. And I feel like that was so much easier to play with her. And I feel like in the practices, she set the tone as like a point guard already. So she's a great leader already, knew how to give us direction without being mean, and then always found us like for our open shots. Like she could drive and get her own shots, but also like create space, which
Yeah.
I think makes a great point guard. So I feel like just playing under her, and especially her as a point guard, it just taught me like the roads to like becoming a player, like having the right mindset going into a game and stuff.
And when I played basketball, I wasn't that good, but I played point guard, and trust me, as a point guard, they appreciate when the shooters and the scorers recognize that they're able to create the space to get you open. The next player, obviously, I want to talk Grace. Just recently graduated. How did she help you?
She really took me under her wing. Like, I feel like with me and Grace, it was like if she's going to a training, I came in her car, we went, and she didn't treat me like I was younger. I was just her speed. And as a training, she would treat me like I was anyone else. Like, she didn't care if I was younger. She taught me how to be tough, how to like become a great player, and really just taught me how to just be like the overall word I think from Grace is just toughness because she didn't she's just a great player all around. Has everyone seen, but she really teaches someone how to like become a good high school player and college and never wanted to not challenge me. So I appreciate that so much from her.
Yeah, she's the type of player that did it all on the court,
She really
defensive end.
did. I remember one game, I think it was we were playing RBR last year, and she had like 30 points in like the third quarter and got every rebound. It was just so great.
I think that was the game Shore Network was streaming. Wasn't that like
Yeah, there
the
was
first game of the
announcing.
season? Yeah, I think that was the
Yes, it
first.
was.
Which was good for her because she was battling the injury the injuries the year before, so her coming out that year, no, that first game.
Yeah.
Doug, you have
Rumson has such a winning tradition. There's been so many players that have, like Kate Miller, I remember, one of the best players I've ever seen play. The High Dukes and all the players that Nick mentioned. Do you feel a responsibility to keep on with that winning tradition and pass it on to the younger players that are coming into the program now?
I definitely do because I feel like just as you come into Rumson and like even like when you come as a seventh grader at like summer little camps, Coach Cal, he sets a tone to the whole like culture. He's like, guys, like we're here, we're gonna play our hearts out and win under all circumstances. And that's how I feel like everyone has carried it down for us, and our leaders from the past have shown us that too. And we are so prepared for games that I feel like when we play our hardest, like I just feel like we'll win. So it's great for us, I feel like.
uh, I had another
I
question.
definitely wanted to pass that down for all the girls coming.
Yeah, what I like to ask this question. I usually ask it towards the end. What is something that you want to something else that you want to pass down to the freshmen? I mean, you're a junior, but you're definitely a team leader. The freshmen that are there and the freshmen that will be coming in next season.
I think that like I love when like the younger girls ask questions or like when like they talk on the court and just helping out other teammates. I feel like is just the most important aspect of a team because if you're like constantly cutting on each other, like yelling on the court, then you can't be together. So I feel like just like being there for your teammates and just always talking on offense and especially defense is just what makes a team great. So
I mean, me and Doug have talked about that previous podcast about team, fighting on the court, arguing. There's a place to address it. The locker room, and and it does, it affects, team morale when you do, you start getting on each other's cases on the court, and everybody sees it, not just the players and the coach. Um, you want to do round robin, Doug, or you got more?
No, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Good.
You want to we'll go back and forth.
Sure. Yeah, that's good.
I'll let you go first. You go first.
All right. You have your AirPods in before the game. What's one song that pumps you up pregame?
okay, I have to get my Apple Music out because I always hear this question because I actually am the team, like I play the songs like for pregame if you ever came to a Rumson game, but I love like Pitbull. I love like all like pump up songs like that. But this season, we've been playing this song called Green Light by Pitbull, and it's so good.
We'll have to check that out.
You have to.
By the way, the song, the playlist
Rihanna's the best. I love her too.
Rihanna, the playlist at RBR was awful yesterday before the game.
Really? Yeah. If you come to our game, our playlist before the game is really good.
It was so bad. JT actually, like, I'm in the stands and JT texted me. He's like, "Do you like my playlist?" I was like, "Please tell me this isn't yours because this is awful."
Yeah.
What's your favorite TV show?
I love Grey's Anatomy. I know it's really basic, but I liked it since like 6th grade before it became a trend. So I liked it ever since.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Friends.
Friends. Everybody likes Friends.
Yeah. My favorite character on Grey's would have to be, I'm thinking Derek or Christina.
Yeah, I stopped watching when Derek died.
Yeah, same. I don't like it after that, but
Yeah.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Athlete, I would have to say, female, I would say Serena Williams. I feel like is so inspiring. I just feel like she's so passionate about what she does. And even like though I watched her when I was younger, I just feel like she like set a tone to like just like work hard in everything you do. And then I obviously love Michael Jordan because I watched his like documentary. I thought he was like really inspiring too.
So since you brought him up, Jordan or LeBron?
I'm thinking Jordan.
Good, smart choice.
Yeah.
Good answer. I like that. Who's your favorite college basketball team?
For girls, I always loved growing up even South Carolina and UConn. But for men's, I love Villanova men's basketball because I grew up watching that.
Oh.
Yes, Nova Nation. My mom went there, so we grew up like watching all the games and stuff. And I remember watching the finals against UNC and the buzzer beater, and just like I was so into the game even at that age. So.
That's awesome.
Favorite movie?
I'd have to say Legally Blonde.
That's like my age stuff right there.
Yeah, I love shows like that.
Who's your favorite musician?
Rihanna and Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Yes.
I'm gonna switch it over to school. What's your favorite school subject?
I like English is better. That's fine. I think English is okay. And I would have to say gym because I get to shoot during gym.
I think I took 4 gym classes my senior year.
Yeah, my senior year, I'm hoping to take some fun.
It's a great St. Rose education.
Well, I wasn't going to take art, so it just kept low. And I had all my classes.
Art freshman year, I took ceramics. It's not the best class for me.
Athletes don't we don't do art. It's gym class.
Virtually, I did virtual ceramics.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I just know I want to be something with like helping athletes, but I don't know what it is yet. I'm not going to say like, oh, a physical therapist or like a doctor because I don't know yet. But I know when I went to this place called Ripped, they had this section where they would help like the recovering athletes, and I feel like they would just help them out so much. Like the physical therapist would put them through like routines, and I just thought that was really nice.
I have to say that Rip Place has influenced a lot of, athlete,
Yes.
kids your age, because I know they help, everybody, especially from, the Rumson, that area, Tinton Falls, everyone go, well, even, the Freehold, I know soccer players from Freehold that go there. So they've influenced a lot of people that wanted to get into the physical therapy,
Yeah.
you know. So that's impressive. I got a college. What what type of school are you looking for in college? And take the sports out of it. To take the sports out of it, like look, does location matter? Size? Obviously,
For me, I feel like you mentioned an important part, like take the basketball point out of it. Like you have to look at the school itself because you
good.
are spending the next 4 years there.
Yep.
I'm thinking just like
That's a great
the
answer right there.
yeah, like the location obviously is important. I don't think I think just like any school, I feel like where I get that feeling. Do you know like what I mean? Just like when you're there, you're like, I love
Just
this school. And
yeah,
I think that there's been a lot of schools where I felt like that. And it's just based on like the community and how you feel when you fit in there. And not even like small or big. I think just like how you feel when you're there.
that's a great answer because I don't
Yep.
think just looking at the transfer portal every year, and I'm not just talking basketball, other sports too. I think people are too tied into, the sports aspect. And,
No,
your
yeah.
answer is perfect.
Yep.
It's supposed to be your home for the next 4 years. And, it's the main thing is to help you, set yourself up for, after school, what your career and stuff like that. So that was probably the best answer. I asked that every interview. That was probably the best answer I've gotten
Thank you.
for that.
All right, my last question. If you could spend a day with one person, who would it be?
Oh my God. Putting me on the spot here. I'm thinking. I think it would have to be Paige Buchers, thinking basketball standpoint, because I just feel like she's so like not just because she's good at basketball, but like she wants to like inspire other kids to like be good
Mhm.
too. And like I feel like she's not very like she's not the type of person to be like I'm so good, even though she is, but she kind of just is like very humble and I feel like a good person. So it'd be really cool to meet her.
I want to meet her too.
Yeah, she seems really cool.
Um, all right, my last question. What advice would you give your younger self or younger, kids that, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old?
I'm thinking just like even if you feel like, hey, I can't make a shot or I can't do anything, just keep working at it because it's not once you work at something, it's not going to get worse. It can only get better. So just like work at anything, whether it be like in the classroom, sport, just like your friendships. Just always work on them, always check in on people, like just be a nice person and just always work hard at everything.
It's a good
Good
answer.
answer.
All right, Julia, I appreciate you joining us
Thank
tonight.
you so
And
much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
actually, I will ask one. I lied to you. That was going to be the last question. So you have Staten Island Academy Sunday?
No, we're playing Sunday. We have St. Thomas
Oh,
Aquinas, and
St.
then
Tom.
yeah,
Sorry.
and then tomorrow we face
My good handwriting. Staten Island Academy's playing Colts Neck. That's my good handwriting.
yeah,
Nick,
Saturday.
you should have taken an extra English class instead of an extra gym class in senior
Yeah.
year.
Well, the problem is the keyboard. You don't write anything out anymore. Everything's text message and typing emails. Um, so you're playing St. Thomas Aquinas. Are they still top 20? Are they top 20? I think they are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
I
They're
don't
having
care
a
what
good season, I think.
I don't care what happens outside the shore, so I don't pay attention
Yeah,
that much. Um, Good matchup. Do you think the team keeps the winning ways?
I do personally because with our chemistry, I feel like even like if we're on, especially, we'll win. But like our chemistry has been so good lately, I just feel like we're bound to win. So I'm just looking at the good outcome. I think we will.
Excellent. That's what I want to hear. I want a clean sweep of short teams. So.
I agree.
All right, Julia, thank you for joining us tonight, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so
Good
much.
luck the
Have a
rest of the
great
way.
night. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you, Julia, for joining us.
Yeah, it was a good kid.
Yes.
Smart kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
I only spoke to her for like 2 minutes yesterday when I dropped off the gift card, but great personality. You could just tell, she had great personality there.
A competitor.
So,
Tough competitor.
Yes. So, hang on one second. YouTube. I hit something. The Madison game went off. It's the only game on YouTube. So, how many games did you go to this week? I only went to one.
I went to the Manchester Trinity game last Friday. I guess that counts for this week.
Yes.
And then I watched the Rumson RBC game. I streamed that.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Shore Toms River South game, and then I streamed part of the RBC Homedale game yesterday. So I watched a lot this week.
Madison Liberty tied at 7.
Yeah, okay.
Madison Liberty up 8-7.
Better take a screenshot.
So I was at the only game I saw this week. Sorry, I had a lot of personal things going on the last 2 weeks. RBR and Colts Neck got to see Josie Munson make her Shore Conference debut. Impressive. Thought she forced it a little bit early on. Hasn't played a competitive game in how long. So, but after she settled down, RBR looked very good. And what to me stood out was their defense. He was able to change some things up, and their defense was really tough, especially in the first half. Iris looked very good. She finished with 6 assists. She should have had probably like 15. A lot of easy shots missed and stuff. So that they're gonna start moving up the rankings. Colts Neck came out cold, and you come out cold and strong defense. And then once RBR got their offense going, it was led by Iris and Josie. Cameron. It was Cameron's first game back off a sprained ankle. So once they get those 3 involved and Holloway involved, they're gonna be. They're not going to be a teams want to face in the Shore Conference tournament.
Yeah.
So Josie is not eligible for states, which is gonna stink. But I don't understand the rulings of that.
They still have that rule? If you haven't played a certain amount of games, you can't play states?
I don't understand why they're banning her from states and they made her sit out 30 days.
Yeah, right. If you're going to sit out? Yeah.
So they should have let her.
Again, let's hurt the student athlete.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's all you hurt. You only hurt the kid.
Yep.
So why are you talking? The Trinity Manchester. That was a pretty good game, right?
It was a pretty good game. It was pretty close throughout the whole game, and then Trinity kind of pulled away at the end, free throws. But Trinity controlled the pace most of the game. They kind of got Manchester to play, and Manchester likes to play fast. Trinity got them to play at their speed. Manchester, I've seen them play a bunch of times this year. I mean, obviously, it's where I live. But they make the same mistakes every game. It's like watching the same bad turnovers early, sloppy defense. And I mean, listen, I'll say it because I don't care, but like their defense is really bad at times, like atrocious at times. They let people go right to the basket untouched.
That's been the MO though for a couple seasons.
For a couple of years. I mean, listen, I lived through it for 4 years. It's I mean, I guess I don't know if they still think Destiny's going to be there to erase shots at the end, but she's not there. Like you got to play better defense, and it's not everybody, but as a team, as a whole, you got to play better defense than that. You can't let Nina get to the basket. I mean, who's going to beat you on that team, right?
Yeah.
Nick, if I asked you 2 people on that team, who's going to beat you?
Nina and Haven.
Right. Okay. So the only 2 people that score in double figures, Nina is 26. I mean, she's walking to the basket. Nobody's guarding her.
Yeah.
It's just you can't. If the people on the team that are going to beat you and you don't lock them down, it's your. If you lose, it's on you. I mean, there's no other way around it. But
Especially when you have a score. What did Quigley have that game?
29, and you're right, and you have girls that can equal them. You got three
Yeah,
girls that can score.
yeah.
But if you're gonna score
You got to stop them.
30 and give up 20, what's the then
Yeah,
really?
to
I don't
watch.
know.
Yeah,
It's frustrating watching them. I'm sure it's frustrating for the coach and but they really are gonna have to buckle down come short conference time because they can score,
yeah,
but you can't. I mean, obviously, you can't score 49 and give up 60. But really, as an individual,
yeah.
you want to score more than you're giving up. But you know, that being said, Trinity's a good team. It's the first time I got to see them this year, but they're inconsistent, little inconsistent
Mhm.
offensively. They buckle down on defense, which is good, but not very deep, and that's I
Okay.
think might be their issue. But I think Paige Janicki's still hurt. I don't know if she's out for the season,
Okay.
but she didn't play. She was in street clothes. So that was a good game. Then the RBC RFH game, and obviously that was the game everybody was looking to.
Yeah.
Um, RBC's size was just too much.
Hmm.
You know, Listen, it's the first I've seen Allie Coleman play a bunch of times. It was the first time she showed me the ability when she got doubled and tripled in the post to kick it out to the open girl. Uh, listen, and sometimes I see her play. Sometimes she puts the ball on the floor too much. She kept it high. She kicked it back out. RBC was making shots. Rumson stayed in the game, um, you know, relying on the three, and they were hitting the three late in the first quarter into the second quarter. Unfortunately, they went cold at the worst time in the game, the
Okay.
last 3 or 4 minutes. But again, RBC, I don't like the way RBC finished that game. They were up 7, and they're taking bad shots. I mean, early, there's no shot clock, but obviously, I want to say early in the shot clock, 2 or 3 passes, and they're taking shots. They missed 3 front ends of 1-and-1 at the end of the game, and they're going to really, they're going to have to really clean that up. I don't know if Justine's going to be back for the short conference tournament or not. And they have enough talent to still
Mhm.
make it to the final or
Yeah.
I'm not going to say win it because I don't think they're going to beat St. John Vianney.
Yeah. No
But
place.
um, but you got to clean that stuff up. You got to make your 1-and-1s. You got to,
That
take,
was
yeah.
the foul shooting was the same issue 2 seasons ago. They the second St. Rose game they let them back in towards the end. The end because they missed a bunch of foul shots and the Manasquan game at Manasquan 2 years ago. Manasquan started fouling and they kept getting closer and closer because they weren't converting the foul shots. And I think I might have even tweeted that because I wasn't doing we weren't doing podcasts then. I said, their foul shooting is gonna hurt them come postseason, and this season early on, their foul shooting's been very good. The games I've been to, so hopefully that was just a one-off. Their
And
foul shooting, missing the front ends.
the other thing that I thought, they were sloppy with their ball handling in that Rumson game, but they played Homedale yesterday, and they did clean. They made 5 or 6 foul shots in the last minute,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't have as many turnovers. So, I mean, obviously, we know Joe's a good coach. He's gonna, work on the things he thinks they need to work on, and they did clean some of that stuff up yesterday and played a much better all-around game against Homedale.
Did you watch any of the? You watched some of the Middletown South Jackson?
I had it on, and it kept coming in and out, so I kind of just gave up on it.
Yeah, there's something wrong with Middletown South's stream with that network. Because first of all, the time's usually wrong. The score's always wrong on there. Like I can't even watch it.
I would say the score's wrong unless their JV team won 94-38. I mean,
They
I
should be
saw
playing
that and
St.
I'm like,
John Vianney then.
oh my gosh, seriously.
Yeah. Their score's always. I don't know. I don't know if a light bulb's out. Whatever. But
And then the only other game I went to the Shore Toms River South game.
okay.
I didn't get a chance to see either team play yet this year, so I wanted to head over there. And it's the first time I got to see Riley Drejos play in person, and she's very impressive. like you talk about all the time, and Will talked about last week. She's just a team player. Like she thinks team first, and he has to fight with her to be a little more
selfish.
Selfish. But you could see that. Like she started off. It wasn't a very good game in the first quarter, and then she started to take over, and she finished with like monster stats. But what impressed me the most at the end of the game is she easily could have had 30 points. She had 24. I think she finished 24. But she gave at the end of the game, she gave up 2 passes to a girl on the team that hadn't scored yet. So, and she easily could have just taken it to the basket, but she made a conscious effort to get this girl involved who hadn't scored yet. And the girl finished with 4 points off 2 of her assists. So to me, I mean, that's the definition of a basketball player. You know what stats you can get, but you're going to help your team and you're going to help girls and you're going to build their confidence. I mean, that to me, that was very impressive on her part and a very mature player.
Yeah. Like the one game I was at, she was jumping up and down when one of her teammates hit a 3-pointer. So that just tells you the excitement she gets when her team gets involved. One team I want to bring up, looks like Marlboro is getting back on the winning track. They beat Middletown South, which Middletown South was able to beat them earlier this season, and they beat Trinity. Those are we said earlier this season they had they got the 3-headed monster with Danny, Erica, and Sam, and look, and Castro had a pretty big game. So if they could get going, watch out. Might have been just one of those teams that start off the season really slow, and another team to watch out for if they keep playing that way come short conference tournament time.
I gave the schedule kind of a quick glance. It's either today or tomorrow. I think they had a pretty good game.
They have.
I don't remember.
They have Notre Dame tomorrow.
All right, that's a good one. And I think did they play tonight? Maybe not, but I know they have a good conference game coming up or division game coming up. So yeah, it's good to see them get back on track. And that's another team. Yeah, like you said, it's not a team you want to see come short conference because their seeding is not going to be great.
No.
And so if they're around an 8 or 9, I mean,
they might even be a little low. Yeah.
Correct. Right. So, if you're a team 3, 4, and 5, you really don't want to see them in the Sweet 16 or 8.
Oh,
so, yeah.
23-8, end of the first.
Well, it was 8-7. So,
St. Rose Ocean tied 14-14, end of the first.
That's going to be a good one. I'd be interested to see.
Yes, with that one. Rosie being out and Ramos is out. I think concussion protocol. That's going to be a close game. We'll go through the coach's choice.
Make some predictions. Sure.
Yeah, we'll do some predictions. We'll do Saturday. We'll just go game by game. First one, Ewing and St. Rose. If St. Rose was full roster, I would go St. Rose, but I think Ewing still. I think they're still in the top 20.
I've seen Ewing play. I saw them play at the OBM before they had to drop out because of COVID issues.
Mm-hmm.
But they've won some big games. I'm not sure I'd take St. Rose even if they were at full strength.
Okay.
Very, very athletic team. A lot of girls that can score on Ewing. Very long, athletic. I mean, unfortunately, St. Rose isn't at full strength, so I don't think it's going to be that great of a game. But I do think Ewing will win that one.
The next game is the Notre Dame Marlboro game. I saw Notre Dame play once. Well coached, very tough team. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Marlboro though, because Marlboro does have more talent on the floor, and they're starting to ride high. So I would go with Marlboro with that one.
I'll go with you on that one.
Next one, Long Island Lutheran and Donovan.
We had the pleasure of playing at Manchester a couple years ago at Coach's Choice, playing Lou High and Celeste Taylor and the big girl that went to Trenton Catholic that's now playing.
Del Rosario.
Del Rosario. And they're always a tough team. I don't think Rich Slater coaches there anymore. I think
No, I don't
they have
think
a
so.
new coach.
Yeah.
He always had that team prepared, but still, they're a
They beat
tradition.
Manasquan. They beat
They're a
Manasquan earlier.
powerhouse. Yep. It's going to be a tough test for Donovan. I don't know. I want to pick Donovan, but I think it's going to be a real tough task, tall order for them. It'll be close though. I think it'll be close, but I think Long Island Lutheran will probably pull that one out.
I agree. I agree with you. The last game for Saturday is Staten Island Academy and Colts Neck. Staten Island Academy was able to beat Rainey. To me, Rainey's better than Colts Neck. So don't know much. I know Staten Island Academy has a really good point guard, Olivia Schmidt, I think her name is, a sophomore. So I'm gonna go with Staten Island Academy.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one too.
So move over to Sunday. A lot of good matchups Sunday. First game, Morris Catholic Homedale. Right off the bat, that's going to be a very competitive game. I'm going to go with the short team. So
I'll go with the short team also because I know Morris Catholic has a bunch of good guards.
Yeah, the two sisters, the twin sisters.
But I do think Homedale just all around is a better team. And listen, it'll be a good. There's Morris Catholic, I believe, still in the top 20. So
yeah,
that'll be a nice win for Homedale. I think they'll at home always nice to have that advantage. But yeah, I think Homedale will win that one.
The next game is St. Thomas Aquinas and Rumson. Rumson's, they're the team that teams want to try to avoid right now. So that's going to be a tough game. I don't know much at all though about St. Thomas Aquinas, so I'm going with the short team just by default.
I think they're a pretty tough team, well coached, obviously. But I'll go with Rumson also. I'd like to see them continue their hot streak and pick up a nice win in the state.
Next game, my favorite team, Paul VI against Manasquan.
Mine too.
Against Manasquan.
Yeah.
I think Manasquan just has too many weapons.
I will pick Manasquan. I hope Manasquan wins. I like Manasquan's team. I like Manasquan's parents. I hope they win 113-40.
So who do you put on Hannah? How do you
Georgia?
Georgia.
I would start with Georgia, and the length will bother her. And Sarah McShay, I would probably put Mary Donnelly on her. And let your two best defenders go after two best players. That's the way I would do it. But Lisa also has a good bench. She can keep switching people off and on. So Manasquan's a deeper team. Like I said, I'm going to go Manasquan 113-40.
Yes, I'm going Manasquan. The only thing I worry about, Hannah's speed. Hannah's very fast, but going off how Paul the Six has played this season, they seem teams that are good. They like to hold the ball, so the speed might not be a factor.
Yeah, it might not be a factor, right?
So, halftime, St. Rose up 31-22.
Right.
I'm getting tagged in updates, so that's why. Right. But yes, go Swan. A game that, Justine being out has probably lost some of its luster, but, Rutgers Prep and RBC, two top 5 teams in the state. Mm-hmm. Right? Is RBC still top 5? I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I think they're number 5. Yeah, I think so.
So, Joel have them ready, for that game. It's just, I think Rutgers Prep's the only team that's going to be able to give St. John Vianney a game, so I'm probably going to go with Rutgers Prep.
I will go with Rutgers Prep also. If Justine's there, maybe a different story, but
yes, totally different story.
I think Rutgers Prep just has too much. They can play fast if they want. They can control the tempo if they want. I think they're just going to wear RBC down. And, Rutgers Prep, I think, in that one.
And the game of the night, maybe the year, Saddle River Day and St. John Vianney. I just,
I kind of wish it was Rutgers Prep and St. John Vianney, but
well, they're playing
we'll
at the
take
end of the
Saddle
year.
River Day.
They're,
Yeah,
play, they're
yeah,
playing at the end of the year.
yeah.
So, yeah, you go first.
I mean, I'm going to go St. John Vianney. I honestly don't think any team matches up with St. John Vianney very well. I just think, I mean, listen, Saddle River Day is what, 2 in the state? So
Yeah.
it's 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But I think the gap between 1 and 2 is pretty big. So I think Vianney will win. I hope it's a good game. But I think Vianney wins that one.
I think between the 15 and 20 point mark, St. John Vianney.
I think that's fair. Yeah,
I think the difference might be Megan, because Saddle River does not have height, where Rutgers Prep has some length. So
and she's been playing. I mean, I haven't gotten to see them, but judging by who I was talking to some people and box scores, she's been playing pretty well the last couple of games. So
she's a
if she
tough
can
player.
complement the 2 guards, that's more weapons for Vianney. So
yeah. All right, let's do division players of the week. Let me figure this out here. Share. There we go. All right, here we go. I think we only have two differences.
This was a pretty weird week. A lot of teams only had 1 game this week.
Yeah, a lot of teams playing tonight too.
Yeah. So this
count.
I mean, for our week, it counts. Fridays count for next week. So we can't go by what happens today. But yeah.
I'll let you lead the way. I'll just do the different. My difference was A Central and B North.
Okay, so we'll start A North.
Yeah.
I guess we both have Sam Slopkis from Marlboro.
Yes.
They had a couple of big wins, Middletown South and Trinity this week. Like we said, they're on a roll, and she's been playing really well. 17 against Middletown South and 11 against Trinity.
Yeah.
So one of the big 3 on the team, and if they can keep rolling, that'll be sad news for some other opponents. So.
Yeah. I gotta look at the standings. I wonder if there's any way they could. They probably need. Middletown South already beat Howell twice, so
right.
I don't think they'll be able to catch them for the division.
Wait, was Howell playing Marlboro? Maybe that was the game I saw.
Oh yeah, I think because I saw the boys game on the stream, so maybe Howell's
that was the game. So that should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, I'll get an update on that. I
know. A Central, I went with Allie Carmen from RBC. Aside from the numbers, I know she put up 20 last night, and having to do more with Justine out of the game, but the game against RFH, when she was passing out of the post, getting double and triple teamed, still found a way to score 9 points, but was setting up her teammates passing out of the post, and I thought that was really good to see. And I know you have.
I have Nina. Yeah, I have Nina from Trinity. She had a big game against Manchester. Only 9 against Matawan, but I'm sure she didn't play that much against Matawan. And then, she had 18, unfortunately, in a losing effort to Marlboro. But team started out a little slow, and she came back from her injury and got that team back onto the winning track. So just a big difference maker there.
A South, we both went with Jackie Benvenuto from Toms River North. She's been putting up numbers all year, rebounding, she's probably averaging about 11, 12 rebounds a game. But this week she had 12 and 10 against Southern, 12 and 12 against Brick Memorial. So another piece of that puzzle at Toms River North that, everybody focuses on Chia and Julia. But Jackie's that sneaky player. She's on the floor all the time. She does the dirty work for that team. So, I've always said, I tell her all the time and I always say, I love the way she plays basketball. She'll be the first to tell you that she probably needs to finish better at the rim.
Yep.
But if she finds a way to finish consistently at the rim, I don't think there's any reason why she can't be a 16 and 10, 16 and 11 player. So.
No, absolutely. And she gives 110% all the time, no matter where the ball is on the court. She's
true.
Yeah. So,
And then B North, I guess we had a difference here too.
Yeah.
I went with Zoe Brooks from St. John Vianney. 23, 7 rebounds, 4 assists against Blair, tough Blair team.
Yep.
And then they had 2 conference games, 14-2, 4 steals against Colts Neck, and then 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks against Middletown North. So just another solid week for Zoe.
Before I do mine, 50-12 halftime. Oh, we got to change these divisions, Shore Conference.
Are you gonna watch the second half?
No. Oh my God, Shore Conference. What are we doing? I went with Iris, RBR. She only had 7 against Frielborough, but how much did she probably play against Frielborough? But and 5 rebounds and I think 5 steals. What impressed me was yesterday, 18 points, 6 assists. And like I said earlier, she should have had more. They just didn't finish yet. Her passing was very good. She was knocking down the 3-pointer. And she was getting to the hoop, she was getting fouled, and she's a very good foul shooter. So I think with Josie being there, it's just going to open her up even more, and I think her numbers are going to even be better. And if she continues passing the bat like that, Cameron and Holloway are going to be the beneficiaries as well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if Tiny was the one that tweeted out, but I was thinking with Josie and Iris now, I mean, Holloway, and the middle's just gonna open wide up for her. So look for her to have some big numbers coming down the stretch too.
And I have to say, Josie is very aggressive going to the hoop. Very aggressive. That's what I got out of that the first game. So yeah. And all those misses, when they're gonna start to cave on her. If she puts the shot up and misses, Cameron and Holloway are going to be right there, just putting back those offensive rebounds. So,
B South, we both went with Amaya Bray from Manchester. Not the leading scorer on the team, but the one kid I can say, and in the Trinity game that was playing tough defense, we talked to Julia about the things she said she needs to improve her off the ball defense. And that's one thing that Amaya really excels at, her off the ball defense, her court vision. It's I see her and Olivia Conroy as probably the 2 best off the ball defenders. They see things, they anticipate passes, they step in passing lanes. So she's not always going to have the most points on the team, and that's okay because she'll put up 8 to 10 rebounds a game. She'll have 3 or 4 assists. This week she had 12 and 8 against Trinity. Pinelands, she had 18 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. But the big thing was Manchester went man-to-man first half, and she held Bridget Dudas to 3 points. They went zone the second half. Bridget hit a couple shots. But that's, again, we talk about knowing who your opponent is, knowing who can beat you on the other team, and Amaya locked her down. And then she finished with 19 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals against Brick. So that was a really good week for her. So that's congratulations to her. B Central, we both went with Raquel Godetti, and I think we both picked her a couple times this year. As we say that different people step up for Randy all the time, but Raquel seems to be the steady, the constant, always there with a good stat line. 10 versus Hudson, 20 versus Keensburg, 7 versus Asbury, and 17 against Keyport.
Unfortunately, none of those teams are any good.
But can only play who they put in front of you, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know people might criticize this, but I mean, Coach Linney, she did a great job filling in every other game. Outside division, every game's a tough game for them. So she recognized that, and I know they want out of that division. They want out of that division.
And you know what? Raquel's done well against those out of division teams also. So it's not just in the division. She's been playing well all year. So.
And they got Cherokee tomorrow.
Big game.
Big game.
That should be a 32-28 grind it out, slugfest. That'll be a great test for Randy.
I was given yesterday when I dropped off the gift card to Sarah. I was giving her you just got to stay focused and don't let they're very well disciplined, Cherokee.
Yep.
They're
They'll
not
lull
gonna
you to
stop.
sleep.
They are not gonna come out of their game no matter what.
Nope. They'll
And
lull you to sleep. And then finally, C North, back-to-back weeks. Both of us picked Jen Farah from Point Borough. I mean, she's starting to heat up. And I don't know what their record was at some point during the season. I know they were a couple of games below 500, but I think they're 8-9 now, or 9-8. They're right around the 500 mark. And they're playing really well. So Jen had 21 against Ocean and 21 against Liberty this week. So I know you have another announcement to make as far as the Broad Street Dough Company.
hang on, I'm just pulling up Point Borough right now.
Yeah. I think they're 8-9. I'm almost positive.
They're 5-8.
No.
Oh no, 6-8. They're 6-8.
6-8. Okay. All right.
But
they're getting close.
They started off two. They won their first two, lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They lost 7 out of their next 8 after they won the 2. And they've won 3 out of the last 4. The only loss out of the last 4 has been Manasquan, which
right.
not many teams are beaten anyway.
Right.
So our Broad Street Dough Player of the Week is Jen Farah. She's back-to-back strong weeks. Want to recognize her. She's her strong play has helped turn around. And gotten Point Borough close to 500. Let me look at the rest of the schedule here. They have St. Rose, Manalapan, Monmouth, Toms River South, Brick, Point Beach, Central Regional, all.
So let's say we take St. Rose out of that equation. Name the next. What are the next ones?
Manalapan, Monmouth.
Okay, that should be a win. Should be a win.
Monmouth is 500 this season. That'll be a good game, but it's a winnable game.
Yep.
Toms River South, winnable.
Winnable.
Brick, winnable.
Winnable.
Point Beach, winnable.
Yep.
And Central Regional, winnable. Central Regional might be their toughest game in that group.
That's a great way to end the season there. They could sneak above the 500 mark.
Going into states with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight wins after you started off the season like that.
Let's say they win 4 out of 7, so that puts them at 10 and 11. I mean, they want to get over that 500 mark, but say they could win 5 out of 7 easily. 6 out of 7 those ones. So
but yeah, Jen, congratulations on being the Broad Street Dough Player of the Week. Great athlete, multi-sport, could do whatever, could probably play anything she wants.
Probably be on a powerlifting team too.
Yes, great soccer player. Could play quarterback. I wonder does she do lacrosse? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I know because her mom brought up when they did the flag football,
right?
Because Point Beach did not have it. Hang on, my computer's. There we go. Sorry. All right, let's wrap up with the top 10. A little changes in the back end of the top 10. All right, I'll let you go first.
1 SJV, 2 RBC, 3 Squan, 4 Donovan. Those 4 have been pretty consistent up top. Have Rumson at 5. Lost to RBC, but I'm not sure Dave would say they played their best game that day. They shot well until the 4th quarter. But I think they're still playing very well enough to be in the 5 spot. Homedale at 6, same thing. Played RBC pretty well, and so I'm not going to ding them too much. Randy at 7, Toms River North at 8, Jackson, nice win over Middletown South yesterday. I know we touched on that before. And then I have Lacey entering the top 10 at number 10, 7 wins in a row for them. So hope they can keep it going. But
they got a solid team there. They got some height. Riley Giordano runs the point, very solid.
playing big inside. She had some
Yeah.
good weeks. Yeah.
Yes. SJV RBC Masquan Donovan left Rainey where it was. Rumson still same spot. Homedale same spot. Toms River North, I moved up a couple spots. Jackson Memorial, Toms River North really didn't. Did they have any tough games this week? Yeah, who they play. They were supposed to play Mainland tomorrow, but that got canceled. That would have been a really good gauge for states, that mainland game. Jackson Memorial, rewarded them for they took care of business yesterday. So whenever they get that date for the rematch with Toms River North, obviously, I know me and you will probably both be there.
Yep, definitely.
And St. Rose, I dropped one just because Jackson Memorial had a more impressive win this week. But St. Rose, they only had one game. They're playing right now. They're winning. So, but Lacey on the bubble. Quite a few teams on the bubble. Middletown South still right there.
Yep.
I'm just going through it right now.
Colts Neck.
RBR is going to eventually, move up. Jackson Memorial. Toms River East above 500.
Yeah, they're starting to play well.
And Marlboro's probably going to be, they're going to be right. They're going to be right there, towards the end of the season. That's why I wanted to pull up Marlboro's schedule the rest of the season. My internet's so slow here. They only scored 4 points in the first 2 minutes. That's good. Notre Dame back-to-back Long Branch. But Marlboro has Saddle River Day.
Okay.
2:22. That is their hardest game. Every other game is winnable. I don't know. You know anything about Old Tappaney?
No. I think they're from just above the equator in New York. So
yeah, that's their last regular season game of the year. So it's gonna be interesting. Next couple of weeks, and then
getting down to the nitty gritty for short conference.
Yeah. So when's short conference start? The 11th, I think, right? No.
When's the seeding? No, the seeding is the 13th, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. 16th, maybe.
No, I think the first game is. Hang on, I'm pulling it up. I thought I saw somebody sent me their schedule. I think their first game is the 16th.
Okay, all right.
So the seeding is probably either
13th?
12th or the 13th.
13th, right?
So we're not. We were planning on having Brian on the 11th. We're not going to be. The seeding's not going to be out.
Well, maybe we could do a special Monday edition of the Giving.
Yeah, I'll see.
A pre-short conference. Go through the predictions and all that stuff.
I wonder if he'll be there in the seeding meeting. Usually APP's there.
At the seeding?
I think APP's there. So I don't know if Brian will be there. So I'll find out from him. But yeah, we'll work that out. Yeah, we're gonna have special guest Brian. I don't want to butcher his last name.
I'm not even gonna attempt that one. Sorry.
From NJ.com, we're gonna do a little short conference tournament preview with Brian as soon as the seedings come out. So, and next Friday we'll have Aria on from Jackson Liberty.
Okay.
So I know she's looking forward to getting on. So a little preview to what to expect next Friday, and good luck to all the short teams tomorrow.
Yeah,
and Sunday.
Bring it home.
So yeah. Anything else? Is that it?
No. Yeah. Thank you to Julia for coming on with us today, and continued success to her for the rest of the season.
Yes. She's having a very good season. Very good season at Rumson. Helped turn that team around.
And it's all those names we mentioned, the Millers, the Hydukes, the Munt. She's gonna have her name right up there in that list when she leaves that school. So
she is.
The younger kids that are coming up, watch her because she's a competitor. She's a worker.
Yeah, she don't stop.
You can learn a lot from her.
Yes. So, Yes, so thank you, Julia, for joining us a little bit last minute, but somebody we wanted to get on, especially with the turnaround Rumson had on. So thank you, and yeah, everyone have a good night.
Yeah, take care.